Here we are in the workbook that we were working here in the Excel web app from the previous exercise. What we want to do is take a look as to what it looks like when we want to make changes or additions to our workbook, but not in the web app, rather the desktop app. The way we do that is we come up here and we're going to click on Editing, and then we're going to click on Open in Desktop app. And then as you can see, it opens up here in the Excel desktop app. Moving around in the background, I can see the Excel web app still open. And so what we're going to do here is make some changes to our worksheet here in the Employee Years of Services workbook. What I want to do is I'm going to come here to cell F1 and I'm going to type in a small function here, equals today. There it is. I'm going to press Tab. It assumes the correct formatting and everything. I'm going to enter a close parentheses and I'm going to press Control Enter. Look at that, it gives me today's date. That's what the today function does. It looks to your computer system and retrieves that current date. Now here in cell E4, which is a little different from the instructions in the lesson. Why? Because we added this new column of first and last name. Nevertheless, here in cell E4, I'm going to put in a little formula here to determine the number of years each of these people have been working. So first I'm going to minimize this. Alright, so now the formula is going to be equals open parentheses F1, and I want to make that cell reference in the formula absolute, meaning that within the formula the reference to this cell will never change. So I'm going to press F4 one time. See the dollar signs that have been added? And then I want to subtract today's date from the higher date. So now I'm going to do minus D4. Now this cell reference, I want it to change dynamically as it moves down to reference each cell, whereas this F1 will always be referencing this cell. Now I'm going to do close parentheses, and then I want to divide that into 365. Why? As you might guess, that's the number of days in a year. So it rounds and gives me a result in years. Now I'm going to press Control Enter, and when I do, it accepts the formula and keeps that cell active. Okay, now I have a lot of decimal places here. I'm going to remove all the decimals so it's a whole number. So I'm going to come to my number group here, and then I'm going to click Decrease Decimal until that is gone, and it rounds it up for me. I want to fill this formula all the way down. Let me zoom out a little bit. And the way I'm going to do that is a quick way of doing it. I'm going to double click my fill handle. Look at that. Shazam, pretty great. Alright, so now I'm finished with that. I want to be able to see the changes. You'll notice over here in the web app, nothing's there. But we're going to watch how this dynamically updates in my web app. Why? Because the original file is saved on my OneDrive, because I created it in my Microsoft 365 account. So now that I'm finished with this, there's no reason to save it because autosave is automatically turned on. So I'm going to come up and close this. And then over here, I'm going to close this. Now watch. Look at that. Pretty cool, right? There's a lot more things that I can show you on how this works. One last thing I want to show you is the differences between the Excel web app ribbon versus the desktop ribbon. So here we have the Excel desktop ribbon. As you can see, it's virtually the same. Clipboard group, same. However, if we come over to, let's say, page layout. Now, I'm going to compare this to the Excel web app ribbon. Now see here. The Excel web app is very limited to a page setup option and a print area, but the page setup in our desktop app, we have all of these extra features. It is very nice to be able to make changes, make adjustments. We can do just about everything in here that we can in the desktop app. Alright, thanks for joining me. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed this course. Thanks.